the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Burr Kia.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
WGSX Lynhaven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. I'm full of water. I say hot tub.
Hot tub.
I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub. Rubber tub and hot tub. Rubber tub and me. Second hot tub.
Yeah.
Will you make me sweat?
Yeah.
Second hot tub. Yeah. Will you make me wet? Yeah.
Well. And good morning.
That's a little echo there. Now I got
Yeah, we got an echo.
A little delay here.
So,
either that or I'm losing my
And now
mind.
we sound great.
I got it plugged in okay, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, welcome 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida every Wednesday. Brian Glenn. Wildcat is doing well. If you missed it yesterday, he got diagnosed with stage 1 liver cancer. The surgery went well. They got everything out. Things look really well for him. And if you can help out, please do so. GoFundMe.
John Smith.
John Smith. I get it right in a minute. John Smitty, alias Wildcat. Look it up. Go in there and go fund him. You can do that. He's got to stay over in Jacksonville for at least a week, all this week, for whatever reasons. The doctors want him right there. And then we'll hopefully have him back here on the 14th or 15th. So things are going good. Everything with Ryan's going really well right now. Also appreciate that. Keep both of those guys in your prayers. And Dr. Glenn Manley, Brian's with us. Brian, how have you been? How your trip's been going?
They're going. I never
I
know
hadn't
where
seen
I'm
you in a
going to
while.
be.
You've been flying all over the country.
Well, you've been gone too, to be fair now.
Yeah, well,
shooting off fireworks in Alabama
Let's get ready to happen even more.
like we need to hear more pops and explosions in Birmingham, Alabama, you know. But it's been good, and I got a little lull here, and then I start traveling again here in about a week and a half. So
Wow.
Well, and everywhere I go, no matter what state, what city, people ask about the legend, Glenn Manley, the one and only, the man in gold. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Most of those people must be with the police departments or something. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, Mike had a story. Mike had called in every single day. He mentioned something about you in Memphis or Nashville or something you had done. I don't know. Maybe he'll probably call today.
That's good.
What, you got anything local for us today? You're the local doctor. Anything going on?
I didn't have anything local, but I tell you, one of the things, though, is if you can help out Bear Siegel, he's representing the United States in wrestling.
God bless him.
And so right now they're training somewhere in South Carolina. Then they're going to go to Milwaukee to do against, I guess, international. Then they're coming back, and then they're going to Fargo, North Dakota. So he's representing the United States. So if you could reach out to Coach Siegel and see what you can do, because every little bit helps. And you know, they just don't. A lot of times, like last year before last, when he went to Bahrain, you know, that was quite an expensive trip. So.
Yes, well, and you know, his father, we all know, is the head football coach out at North Bay Haven. And how's his hip? Did he actually go?
He's going to go back.
Going to go back?
I can't. A HIPAA laws won't let me break it out. But he's doing better. But he's, he can do a lot. You know, what's funny is he had his hip work done, and they gave him an upstairs office. I thought, man, they're already trying to get rid of you.
The great Andy Siegel.
Yes,
I
sir.
tell you what, man.
What a great guy.
Great guy.
Then I met one of my former players from Bozeman, Chandler Burkett, is actually back. He's going to be helping with over there with them. So,
have you been doing your usual go around all the different schools helping with the kicking games?
I have not done as much this year. I've been traveling a little. So
well, you're getting older.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but I'm going to start back. When they start the 28th, so I'll start making some rounds.
Can you believe that July 28th football season starts back? That's crazy. Every year they back it up. I'll be honest with you. I was talking to Jerry in prison. We were talking about that one day. The old days back when you would get out in June, you go back like that first, right after the 1st of September. Mm-hmm. Football games started like September 7th. I remember 2 days would start like August 15th. Right. And those days now have moved to like July 20th, 28th, whatever.
I know it. Yeah.
And if you play one of those classics earlier, they let you come around and officials can practice calling games or practice that you can start even a week earlier than that.
The funny thing too is, we didn't have air conditioning. We didn't have all these fancy things inside. You stayed outside. So we're more acclimated to what was happening now. Yeah. I don't know how they do it now.
Tell you what, but it's hot, it's humid. I got to brag again. Brian, you just told me something, too. Would you share that with everybody? 2 schools that were D's, I believe, or D's or F's.
Well, no, I think if I read the story correctly, Oscar Patterson went from an F to a B, I believe. Wow. And then Cedar Grove, I believe, went from a D to a C. And
that's incredible.
I think I heard it was the first time in 17 years we haven't had a D or an F school.
17 years. Hey, look at the leadership. I mean, McQueen is knocking out the ball.
Well, we had a lot of schools moving up. Bay went C.
We didn't have any D's or any F's.
Went B
no
to
D's,
A.
no F's.
They were so close last year to being a B.
What a job, man. Yeah. I'm going to give a shout out to the superintendent. What a wonderful job he's done. Great leadership there. And the school board members, they got to pass all the different things they want to do. And then the real heroes, the teachers, the administrators, the principals, the teachers, and the great kids of Bay County. Great job. That's impressive, man.
Yeah,
we've been down so long.
The ones with boots on the ground,
Yeah, good job, man. And I want to give another thing. Glenn went and did a little pep talk to a couple schools before they took the exams. I think he had them pumped up, fired up, and ready to go. So I want to thank you for that.
I know,
that little cheat sheet didn't hurt anything.
Look, I don't know. They're not in the car as much in the summer listening, but shout out to the kids too. They got to get it done. So. Good deal.
It seems like now they test so many times. When just tell me the days I can go to class as well.
Hey, how is swimming going? We always talk about all the sports, swimming during the summer. Have you talked to Dana? Have you talked to Coach? What's the latest around here?
I'm certainly getting a lot of emails. No, I mean that's different stuff. No, I mean, from what I can tell, it's going fine. I mean, I'm not obviously in the day-to-day operations anymore, but I'm sure Panama City swim team's rocking along. They're getting ready for the Southeastern Championships in Huntsville next weekend. Huntsville, that's right. And I think they've had their summer splash program going. Looks like the weather's mostly cooperated with them. I know some summers we had a hard time dodging lightning strikes, but I haven't been out at the pool much, so I would imagine Dana's had her dive camps going, and high school will start here. I mean, I think they have meets in the end of August, so
unbelievable.
It's coming around quick. But yeah, swimming never ends. So
I tell you, I'm getting glad. I can't wait the school starts. I know the kids don't want that to happen, but that gets everybody started. We get even more people listening back then, especially kids. I go into 360, the gym, and to talk, not really to work out, but I see so many kids that we've had on the show, and so many football players, soccer's huge around here, baseball, and they come up and talk, and I said, hey, you been listening? I've been sleeping in, Coach, but dog. Come on, man, get up and listen to us. But anyway, it's good seeing all those kids down there. I want to get this in. I had it, and I haven't used it yet, and I wanted to do so. I just kept it tore out, and I want to go over this with you. Winning percentages versus ranked opponents the past 5 years, how has it been in the SEC? Everybody's going to think it's Georgia. In the last 5 years have dominated back-to-back national championships. They won the SEC last year, but it wasn't. It was very close. And this is due to Nick Saban. But anyway, the winning percentage now this is versus ranked teams the past 5 years ranking the SEC. Of course, we'll start at number 16. We all know who that is. It's Glenn's favorite place, Vandy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go Doors.
They've only won 10% of the games played against ranked teams in the last 5 years. Not very good. They did a really good job last year. This is what shocked me, and if we have time today, we'll talk more about Auburn But Auburn, can you believe this? You and I grew up in that state. Brian, you grew up in that state. My whole life, Auburn's been very competitive. A great job. You've got to win there. I say that all the time. I'm used to them winning. I cannot believe they had 4 losing seasons in a row in football. It just didn't seem impossible to me, but it has happened. And this is even worse. I didn't realize this. Auburn's only won the past 5 years versus ranked teams 12.5% of their games.
Wow.
Glenn, that's terrible.
It is.
I mean, that's unheard of. Arkansas, yeah, but they're at 21.4.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. At number 13, another one to shock you. We're so used to Urban Meyer, Glenn Manley, Steve Spurrier, the legendary coaches doing such a good job at Florida. Florida's only 21.7. 21.7.
Wow.
Yeah. South Carolina Gamecocks, 27.3. Mississippi State is at 11th. They've won 29.2% of their games versus ranked opponents the last 5 years. Missouri, 33.3. This one shocked me. I couldn't believe this one. LSU, they won a national championship in 2019. LSU is at 35%.
Wow.
Yeah. Tennessee, 40. Kentucky Wildcats at 7, 41.7. That for Kentucky, they're in the middle of the SEC. That's crazy. Now, here are your top 6 winning teams versus, percentages versus these ranked opponents. At number 6, Texas A&M, 42.9. Of course, Jimbo Fisher got fired because he didn't get it done. Now, remember, this is not against all competition, just ranked opponents. And your top 4, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, has been there, has done a great job. Thanks to him, they're 4th. They've won 50% of their games. At number 3, and I want to apologize because I left out Texas. I think Texas was 3. Here you go. Texas was 4, tied with Ole Miss. I'm sorry. They're at 50% also. Remember, they've been down. They're back now, but they've been down. At number 3, Oklahoma, which is going through some bad times for them right now. The athletic director's been there since 1998, getting ready to retire. He's out the door. I don't blame him. And I would feel bad for the coach. No, regardless if he better have a great year. Has a good year. The new AD comes in. What do they usually like to do?
Oh, they like to
bring their own people.
Right.
All right, number 3, Oklahoma. They won 52.6% of their ball games. Now, here are your top 2, which kind of saves the SEC. The Georgia Bulldogs versus ranked opponents the last 5 years, 75.9. And the number 1, mainly because of Nick Saban, the 4 years with him and 1 year with DeBoer, they won 76.6 versus ranked opponents. I thought it kind of just shows you when the SEC, you have 4 teams that you schedule, usually cupcakes. It pads your schedule, pads your stats. You get home games, you get wins, you make money. Big Ten, they only get 3 of those. I think ACC's also got 4.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So anyway,
the other thing too is when you start pulling Oklahoma and Texas,
the thing about Oklahoma, they've been down.
Yeah, but they've been in a different conference too. But until
absolutely,
their winning percentage may just kind of float up there a little bit.
That's why I got you here, man. That's why I got you here. Hey, today's a special day. Today's Wednesday. We got so many specials going on today. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. World famous J. Michael spaghetti. When Glenn comes, we put that little yellow raincoat on him and we wipes him down. But go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. You want seafood, you get the best you've ever had right there. The ice cold beer, great steaks, pork chops, you name it. They got it all. The legendary J. Michael.
What the heck happened to our song we used to play on Wednesdays?
Well, I got hit up with a...
it was Ed Strickland singing.
He wanted me to pay him for that. I told him I wasn't going to pay him, so we took it off. He wanted money.
Oh, he wanted copyright.
He did. I said, no, ain't going to happen. But we got, Pat Perno, City Commissioner of Lynn Haven. They got a big special over there today. 10 wings inside for $9.99. So if you're Lynn Haven, get out there.
Those wings are good.
Try the Cuban sandwich, everything, the onion rings, you name it, unbelievable. You're out at Lynn Haven, go on see Russ and Amber. You're looking for some jewelry. You know what? They made a special mic for Wildcat.
Sure did. Look good, too, didn't it?
Beautiful. They'll design, they'll make it. Anything you want, they can do it. They always give you great deals. I love Russ and Amber. Great people. I got to get them on the show. We got to get
the only problem, though, I've noticed that it's so big around Smitty's neck. He's only about 5 foot, I don't know,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, but
it kind
weighs,
of makes him lean a little bit.
well, but he weighs 200, so.
Maybe that offsets it a bit.
He's 5'4" tall and 5'4" wide.
And the weather's been brutal. I don't worry about it because I got Stevenson Air Conditioning. So should you. You got a problem anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditions. Locals taking care of locals. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. They are number one. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 88. Partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms and a high of 86. The same at 86 Friday, and we'll have a variety of mostly sunshine and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Hi folks, it's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All color gemstone jewelry is on sale now at 60% off. Emeralds, rubies, sapphires, amethysts, blue topaz, tanzanites, opals, and many more. And with just 20% down, we'll hold your sparkle until Christmas. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending.
Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida on a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Wednesday here in Paradise. It was beautiful yesterday. This is the heat, man. The heat was brutal.
It started out raining, so as soon as that sun came out, it was reclaiming the water.
You ain't kidding, man. Was it storm bad over there in town?
For about 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't get anything. I tell you what, if you're out exercising in the heat, you make sure you're putting water in your system, Gatorade, something. Take care of yourself out there. I walked the other day, and I'm telling you what, I paid for it, not last night, the night before. I had cramps all night long, didn't sleep. It was brutal. And then I remember what Jason got me, and I took some of that, and I was fine. Thank you, Jason Kovaleski. This is the longest home winning streaks in college football. It's going to be hard to keep this thing going. Right now, because of transfers, recruiting in the old days, if you had a good class, you know you're going to be pretty good. You can count on that. Recruiting really doesn't even matter anymore. You can. It does still matter, but keeping the players is more important. Good luck with that. But the Georgia Bulldogs, as we speak of now, and it's incredible they've done this. This coming up season, they've got 2 of their home games will be against Texas and Alabama. That's going to be hard to win both those ball games, but anybody can do it is be Kirby Smart. If he does it, this thing will keep rolling. It can actually get it up to 40. But right now, Georgia has the longest home winning streak in the nation. They have won 32 games in a row.
Well, when they play Marshall and Austin Peay, I think that you can add those 2.
You got to add it in there. Who do you think else? Who do you think's number 2? You're going to be surprised. No, this is home winning streak. This is not overall record, home winning streak.
Gosh.
Let me help you out. They're in the Big Ten.
Would be Ohio State.
No, it's
Penn State.
No.
Michigan.
He just left the job and went to Alabama last year.
Oh, Washington.
Yeah, I had no way I'd have got that. And they only have 20. They've won 20 games in a row. It shows you how difficult it is to win every single game at home or anywhere else. But Washington's number 2 with 20. Number 3 is Oregon with 15. At number 4, you have Alabama, Boise State with 12. And I think Texas came in there, beat Alabama, and broke the long record that Nick had. Missouri is at number 5. Missouri is at number 5. They've won 10 home games in a row. Then it's Army.
Because nobody can find it.
Yeah, it is Army at 9. And then it goes Indiana, Tennessee, Marshall. They're at number 7. They've won only 8 games in a row at home. That's Memphis, Ohio, is at number 7. And at number 9, Arizona State. They've won 6 straight home ball games. So anyway, they have a list every year they do, and one of these, I think it's Athlon or Sporting News, one of these magazines anyway, and they always have the winningest programs 5, 10, then it jumps to, it goes 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100. There's only 6 programs on those 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100 years, all-time wins. There's only 6 programs that made every one of them. Do you know who they are? The leading, we just need to say the leading programs over the last 100 years of college football.
I would say either Michigan, Ohio State.
You are correct. Michigan, Ohio State. There are actually 4 more. Who are they?
Leading in terms of what again?
The overall record winning programs every 5, 10, 25, 50, 100 years. Michigan, Ohio State is 2. There's 4 more that met this. Big blue blood. They're in the Big Ten. They have a very plain uniform.
You guys?
Well, that's everybody in the Big Ten, but Penn State.
Penn State. And, I was surprised. Penn State. So the Big Ten, you got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. Out of the SEC, you have 2 of them. Come on, man. The biggest name in
Texas,
Alabama.
Mississippi State.
No, Alabama. And you got 2 more. No, one more.
Oklahoma or Texas?
Also out of the
Oklahoma,
SEC?
Texas is not in it. I was surprised.
Also out of the SEC?
SEC. I was shocked. I thought, matter of fact, I think it's wrong, but
Tennessee?
Georgia. I don't understand that. But and out of the ACC, there's one school out of the ACC. Who is it?
Louisville.
I would say Florida State. They don't go back far enough.
No, go back far. Remember, it was a female school.
Clemson?
Absolutely. Yeah. Great job, Glenn Manley. Only 6 programs made this list. Across 5 years. Way to
go, Glenn Manley. I told you before he answered it.
He did.
5 years, 10 years, 25, 50, 100. Here they are. Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Wow.
Yeah, but when you start going back to who plays who, like Clemson and South Carolina go back to 1896. So Florida State only goes back to 51 or 48.
Mm-hmm. The latest ESPN computer predictions, order of finish in the SEC, it changes. They run these things. They do all this kind of, they feed the computer all these different things. It comes
I keep
up with
waiting. I got to interject. I keep waiting. One day you're going to say, I have a list here of the teams in college football that are on the most lists. Here we go.
There you go.
Here we go. At number 16 in the SEC, only predicted to win 4.4, and you have the shirt on, the Mississippi Bulldogs. At number 15,
yeah, the hard part's figuring out how we're going to win that 0.4 of a game. That's math. They haven't invented Mississippi yet.
At number 15, Vandy, which has got, I think they'll be pretty good next year. They only have going 4.8
Everybody's
wins.
loving Vandy. We're going to see if they don't come crashing back to earth this year.
At number 14, they better win. He's getting on the warm seat. Kentucky, 5.1. At number 13 in the SEC. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do the offensive coordinator. I don't know if they do it or not. The OC, the head coaching job. Sam Pittman needs to win. They've got them predicted to win 6.1 game. At number 12 in the SEC, you got Missouri, 6.9. I think they're going to meet.
Missouri's going to have a tough year this year. They lost a lot. I like Drink, but they lost a lot.
Yeah, I think he gets to 7 wins. All right, number 11, the schedule's incredible. They've got Florida only winning 6.4.
I'm not so sure it's going to be a whole lot better.
The schedule's brutal. I think they're back. I think they're going to win 9. If they win 9, they should be put in. At number 10, Oklahoma. I guess this new quarterback, new offense coordinator, is something special.
They thought the same thing on Arnold, too. So,
yeah.
I mean, they like this guy, and, I guess they feel Venables is playing for his job and everything like that. The defense is supposed to be good. We'll see.
Glenn, how can, Cam Newton's one player, but they getting so much love to the quarterback and the offensive coordinator coming into Oklahoma that they're getting a lot of love across the board. You think they get to 7 wins this year?
I don't ever think that the offense is a problem for them. They've always been able to score. It's stopping the other team. I think they better be getting a defensive coordinator that knows what to do, but I think they're going to be right there. I don't think they'll go blowing past that number.
All right, at number 9, South Carolina. They get Alabama at home. They got a tough schedule. They got good players. Quarterback's outstanding. They got one of the best edge guys in the country. South Carolina's going to be pretty good. I think they absolutely meet the 7.3. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
I think so. He's been there long enough now.
The one thing I'll say about him, he'll follow a good year with a so-so year. So we'll have to see.
Now, here are your top 8 teams in the SEC. You're going a lot of different directions with this one. Auburn, I think they're going to be really good. But then I hear they're getting after him pretty hard right now on social media. Paul Feinbaum jumped him hard. Auburn, 7.5.
I actually don't think Auburn's going to be a very good team this year, but this schedule lines up really well for them.
They got to beat Baylor.
I could see them winning 8 and not having a great team.
Yeah, I think the Baylor game's critical.
Baylor's critical because if they lose that, it sets the fans off.
Yeah. And then you got Oklahoma and Texas A&M back-to-back when you play the SEC. He needs to beat Baylor. All right, at number 7, I do think they're going to be good. Ole Miss Rebels, they got them at 8.3. They're at Georgia. They don't go to Bama. They get LSU at home. 8.3, I think he's going to get to 8. I think he gets to 8 wins easy. Number 6, he better get better than this. LSU, 7.9.
It's probably about right.
Yeah, 7.9. He wins 7 games. He's fired.
I see them either 7-5 or 8-4.
Yeah, he's 7-5. He's gone. There's a new head coach at LSU. I think
what was Les Miles' record when he got fired?
About like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right in there.
He's a heck of a coach.
Which time? The time they fired him or tried to fire him?
Oh, I wanted to bring this up, too. I hope it's time to finish this. I got to talk about Coach O here in a second. All right, let's get to Tennessee. Tennessee, they lose a quarterback. We all know that. The latest computer models have Tennessee winning 8.7. I can see them winning 8 games.
I haven't looked at their schedule real close, but 8 sounds right. If their schedule's favorable, 9 could be.
I think they get Georgia at home. They go to Alabama, Florida. I can't remember where the Florida games are at. All right, Texas A&M. I love the coach there. I think he's doing great things at A&M. 8.1. I think he gets to 8.
Again, everybody, marveled over Marcel Reed coming in, but if you look at the games where he played well, it's the games where they started Wegman and then brought him in, and the other teams prepared for a different style quarterback. When Reed got the start, they seemed to have him figured out a little bit better. So we're going to see, now that he's the true starter, we're going to see how effective he really is.
And I think Notre Dame's off the schedule this year. I don't think they have him this year.
I don't remember. I have to pull it up.
I think he's a great coach. Year 2, I'm gonna give him. He'll get to that. Alabama, 9.6. They got him running third the SEC. Or what everybody think? 9 sound right?
I honestly think they're going to win 10 this year, so 9-6 is pretty close.
Glenn?
Yeah, I think 9-6.
All right, the last 2, they got Georgia 10-1, Texas 10-1, tied at number 1. What do you guys think?
I think that sounds right.
Yep.
All right, that's the latest from the ESPN Guru Computer
A&M
Network.
does have Notre Dame. Game 3 in South Bend.
Ooh, okay. Notre Dame's going to be pretty good, guys. They're going to be pretty good. All right, let's talk about something that's outstanding. That's J. Michael's Restaurant. You eat all that food, and you want any kind of help. You want to get bigger, stronger, faster, just feel better. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason Kovaleski has 2 locations, not just 1, but 2. Pier Park, 23rd Street. The Joint Boost, I think, is your favorite.
Yeah.
If you're aching, your bones are popping, go get the Joint Boost. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did. They do. He'll be in here every Friday, every Tuesday. Jason Kovaleski. Also, Newbies, 4 great locations. What's your favorite?
Mine is Newbies on the Bay.
Mine's on the Curve and the Mothership. The best entertainment in the Southeast every Friday night, the Mothership. You know why? Because that's what Charlotte wants, and she gets what she wants. Get out, newbies, have a great time. Dr. Ward, we love you. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. And please give us a call. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Tonight, we're staying up past our bedtimes. It's exciting interleague play with the Atlanta Braves and the Athletics. Coverage coming up from West Sacramento at the Sutter Health Park at 7:50. First pitch, 9:05. On your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Pain don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday here in Paradise. We got Brian, we got Glenn, we got, I almost said Wildcat. Wildcat, we all know, is not here with us. Randy's filling in for him. And, of course, we got the legendary doctor. People listen, especially the FSU fans, listen to see what he's going to say. The one and only, the legendary Dr. John Moore. Good morning, sir.
Morning, fellas. How are y'all doing?
Couldn't be better. Doc, talk about it, man. The sun is out. It's brutal. It's hot. It's humid. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 can develop it. 5 minutes can save your life. Where can we go to get checked out? Where are some great locations we can go see Dr. Ward at?
Well, you can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Water Sound, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, or Mariana. Give us a call at 233-3376. It's super easy to get an appointment, and it only takes 5 minutes to get looked at head to toe and make sure your skin is healthy and cancer-free.
Doc, I love you, man. I love some of the things you post. All these SEC players, I know especially Alabama. I had one of my boys were working there when this was going on, and he was telling me things they had to do to be able to go out and play what the SEC mandated with the Big Ten, all these different conferences. You know, they used to have to wear the mask and everything, but they had to get the shot. They had to get the jab. And you posted some things that what they have found out since these athletes, that's not athletes, it's the people in general have had taken the shot, as the side effects of these things like that. And I think some of the schools made these athletes take more than one shot. Reading that, did they set themselves up for some kind of lawsuit or something like that? Talk about that if you don't mind.
Well, unfortunately, like the government basically gave all the manufacturers liability protection, so that they're shielded from the damages caused. But yeah, I mean, there were several athletes that developed heart inflammation after getting the COVID shots. There was a golfer from East Tennessee State that actually posted something on TikTok about his situation right after it happened. But no, outside of just proving that, the more boosters you got, the more likely you were to get infected with COVID, which was supposed to protect you from that, to the heart inflammation, especially in young people. And now, a study came out showing that in people who got pancreatic cancer, that if you got 3 or more of the shots, you were significantly more likely to die from pancreatic cancer, and that you were that it was just much more aggressive. So these shots altered people's immune systems, decreased their immunity, makes them more likely to die from cancer now. I mean, it's just a gift that keeps on giving, and unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. Once you took it, it's changed your immune system. So don't always listen to those experts, because the experts got this wrong really badly, and I hate it for these athletes that felt like they were forced to take it, especially the college athletes. I mean, look at some of the pros that had big names and they didn't take it, like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and all. If you're big enough, you just said no, I'm not going to do it. But if you weren't big enough, you were kind of forced to. Even professional athletes were. And actually, you watch Wimbledon right now. It's why Novak Djokovic is one of my heroes, because he actually was prohibited from entering countries and allowed to compete. And he felt so strongly about it that he said, fine, I won't play in the Australian Open. I won't come and play at the U.S. Open. I'm just going to stay at home, and eventually people are going to come to their senses.
We had a coach, I can't remember if it was Washington State, one of the schools out there.
Washington State.
He refused to do it, and then they fire him.
Yep.
They let him go. I wonder now if he can go back.
He did sue him. I can't remember. It wasn't a settlement. I think part of the lawsuit got thrown out, and maybe part of it is still going. I can't remember, but he did sue them.
He wasn't the only coach. Other coaches that did the same thing. But
again, he was actually suing, I believe, the state the way it is, because it's a state institution or something like that.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, Doc, they go back into stuff like the flu shot and some of the other earlier shots that kind of have the same effect as the COVID shot.
Well, I don't. The COVID shot is special because it's that mRNA technology, and the thing is, they pushed it out without knowing what it actually did to people, and that was kind of why, I don't know. Back in the day, I was telling people, if you're forced to take one, take the Johnson & Johnson shot, because at least that's not mRNA, and we know more about what those shots do. So, and it was funny, the government was telling people that's the one not to take, and I was like, no, if you're forced to take one, take that one.
Yeah. Well, Doc, let's get into this. ES Sports came out with their top 25 rivalries in college football. I don't agree with hardly any of these. And then I'm going to ask all three of you to come up with your 10 top rivalries. If you could pick out the 10 best college football games you want to see played, what would they be? Now, let me go through the list. We'll come back, discuss it, and then we'll come up with our own. At number 25, and I think 25 is too much. I think should have kept the top 10. But here you go, top 25. Oklahoma State, okay. Number 24, Clemson, South Carolina. This one I think should be in the top 10. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. At number 22, I don't think this should be in there. Iowa versus Wisconsin. Number 21, Washington versus Oregon. Number 20, Harvard versus Yale. Number 19, Kansas versus Missouri, which I don't even think they played anymore. Number 18, Michigan, Notre Dame. Number 17, I thought this would be in the top 10, just me, my personal opinion, Auburn versus Georgia. Number 16, Michigan versus Michigan State. Number 15, Texas A&M, all the way back at 15th. Wow. At number 14th, USC, UCLA. Number 13th, Alabama, LSU. Number 12, Georgia, Florida. Number 11, Alabama, Tennessee. Now, here are your top 10. We'll come back and discuss this, and we'll plug in our top 10. At number 10, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Wow.
That's a big one, though, and historic. It's just not very good right now.
Number 9, Florida, Florida State. Number 8, Ohio State, Penn State. Number 7, Miami, FSU. Number 6, it's not even played anymore. Number 6, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Number 5, USC, Notre Dame. That's a big one. Number 4, Army, Navy. Number 3, Oklahoma, Texas. Number 2, Alabama, Auburn. And the biggest, Ohio State, Michigan. Doc, we'll start with you. I don't agree with their top 10 whatsoever. Just in my opinion. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. What, in your opinion, give us your top 10 John Ward's greatest rivalries in college football?
Okay, starting at number 10, it's the name of the game and the fact that it's been played for like 120 years. I start with clean, old-fashioned hate. Georgia Tech.
Dang, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, number 9.
Florida State.
Okay. Number 8.
Third Saturday in October.
There you
Alabama,
go. Roll Tide, baby. Yes, sir. Number 7.
The Palmetto Bowl, Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay. Number 6.
The world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Florida, Georgia.
Wow. Number 5.
USC, Notre Dame.
Okay. Number 4.
Red River rivalry, Texas, Oklahoma.
You can't say that 3 times.
Yeah, we're pretty close on all these. Number 2.
Army, Navy.
Okay. Number 1.
No, that was number 3. You skipped 3.
Okay.
Army, Navy was number 3.
All right, number 2.
Southern Miss education.
Southern Miss, Ole
Number
Miss.
2, the game. That's Ohio State, Michigan, the game.
All right, I love it. Number 1.
It's hands down, no question, the Iron Bowl.
You, sir, you have won. You have won our contest. You are exactly right. Unbelievable. That was I love your list. All right, Glenn. Glenn.
Yes.
Give me your top 10.
Well, first of all, number 1 is in Middle Tennessee versus Austin Peay. So I just...
Number...
All right. I
North Dakota State versus South Dakota State.
I know. The Jackrabbits versus... I've got... number 10, I have Alabama versus LSU.
Okay.
And number 9, Oregon versus Oregon State.
Okay.
Number 8, Florida, Georgia.
Good.
Number 7, I got UCLA and USC.
Okay.
And number 6, Notre Dame and USC.
Okay.
Number 5, I have FSU, Florida, or I could have FSU, Miami.
Which one did you go with?
I would go with FSU, Florida.
I would too.
I got number 4, Texas, Oklahoma.
Good.
Number 3, Auburn, Georgia.
Okay.
Number 2, Alabama versus Auburn, or Army Navy is such a big one too.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Michigan State, Ohio State.
Michigan, Ohio State.
Great job. Great job. Great job. Hey, Randy, we got enough time? How much time we got? All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and finish this up. Doc, I want to give you some more love. I tell you what, man, when I was in Southwest Florida, they found it on my ear. They cut me. They send me in a room with a lot of people. They come back, it seemed like 2 hours later. Oh, we found it's not cleared out. They jab me again. I go back in there and wait another. I was there all day, and there was a lot of people there. I had you operate on me twice. I go in there. You cut them. You find the margins. You get it done. You're not in there all day and all night. You guys do a great job. Your employees are incredible, and you do a lot of business too. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I got to brag on you. You do a great job. One of the best I've been around. And talk about some of the things these young people can do right now, because I think you told me it's not really what you're doing right now. It's what you did back in the day. Talk about that, and what can they do to prevent getting skin cancer and have to be cut on?
Absolutely. The biggest thing you could do is protect yourself from the sun. So, if you can wear protective clothing, that's the best. But if you can't, you got exposed skin. Make sure to put your sunscreen on before you go out. Once you get in the water, towel off, you got to reapply. And, if you do get something, doesn't look right, feel right, don't wait. We got people that say, I've had this for 3 years. And I'm like, what are you doing? You got to come in when you first notice it. So big thing is just don't wait. Go ahead and call, make an appointment, get it checked out, make sure it's not cancer.
Go with the best. Go with Dr. Ward. And again, where are you located?
We have 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana.
If you love
3376, all you got to do to make your appointment.
Doc, if you love Mexican food, you got to come out. I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you dinner. We'll have a great time. We can talk sports. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. This is happy hour, Doc. This is the best happy hour you get anywhere. You buy one draft beer, next one's free. Get yourself house wine, next one's free. And yes, margaritas. We all love margaritas, especially when you eat Mexican food. Buy one, get one free. This is a place everybody's having birthday parties, huge facility. And David's opened up a new one on Front Beach Road, 10908 Front Beach Road. Please park in the back. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. We'll be right back with the legend, Dr. Ward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the Atlanta Braves.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Tonight, we're staying up past our bedtimes. It's exciting interleague play with the Atlanta Braves and the Athletics. Coverage coming up from West Sacramento at the Sutter Health Park at 7:50. First pitch, 9:05. On your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 88. Partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms and a high of 86. The same at 86 Friday, and we'll have a variety of mostly sunshine and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts in Delhi. Call 763-1627.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPN NW.
If you got more A's on your truck than you did in high school, you might be a Bama fan. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida every Wednesday, 7:30. Listen to Dr. Ward, does an incredible job. I just got a text here. Thank you for this, by the way. Bay District Schools, congratulations. Great job on your grade. Great job, superintendent, school board members, teachers, and the great students here at Bay County. They were 2 points away from being an A district.
Yeah.
They're right there, man. They're knocking on the door. It goes back to leadership. You get new leadership, great things happen. The guy is incredible. We love our new superintendent. All right, let's bring on Dr. Ward. Doc, I'm going to do my list because I forgot to call him. I thought I called him. I think I did, and I didn't tell you to do it.
No.
Here's my list of the top 10 and I did it a different way. I did what I enjoy watching, games I enjoy watching. At number 10, the oldest rivalry in the South, Georgia-Auburn. I hate that they changed the game up. It used to be played at the end of the year, and now it's played early in the year. I don't like that. I don't. Gus Malzahn, thank you for doing that. At number 9, I have Florida State, Miami. At number 8, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I enjoy watching the Egg Bowl. I'm sorry. It usually played on Thanksgiving. It's a great ride. If you've never watched it, haven't been involved in it, it's a great one. Number 7, I got Florida, Georgia. At number 6, I got Alabama, LSU. At number 5, I don't know why I did this. At number 5, I got Alabama, Tennessee. My top 4...
Alabama,
is
Auburn, Alabama, Mississippi State.
top 4, Florida, Florida State. I should have put that number 3, but I didn't. I'm going to switch it. I got Florida, Florida State, number 3. Number 4, I'm going to put Oklahoma, Texas. At number 2, I got Ohio State, Michigan, and Doc, you're right. At number 1, nothing like it in the world. The Iron Bowl, there's nothing like it anywhere. Both from the same small little state. It's a great game. Doc, do you like mine? Or mine okay? I know they're not as good as yours, but is it pretty good?
No, I like it. And, like when you asked me to do this homework, I was looking at, should it be the games I enjoy watching? Should it have historical significance? So I kind of went more with historical. The only game that was on my list where they played less than 100 games was Florida State.
Yeah,
so,
and that's one of the best.
But like I tried to find a game for LSU, and I was right there with Alabama LSU, but they've actually only played about 70 games.
Yeah. It used to be Arkansas for LSU. That was always the Friday of Thanksgiving week, and that was the big rivalry. And then as A&M and look, LSU Ole Miss is a big one too. Over time.
LSU Ole Miss was huge.
They don't really have that one. Like if they had an in-state, like if it was La Tech, LSU, and those were both story programs, that would be good. But LSU's kind of suffering for that.
All right, Brian, give me your top 10.
All right, so I didn't get homework. I had to just do this on the fly. I'm going to throw 2 honorable mentions out that aren't necessarily great games, but are very, very heated and have history. Cal-Stanford is definitely a big rivalry from the past. Obviously, the band is on the field. Mm-hmm. And then Penn State and Pitt. I know the hatred that goes on in that game.
That's a good one.
I tried not to use any team twice, but my homerism for Alabama shows because, well, I'll get into that. So that's the only team I used twice. Number 10, the Egg Bowl, State Ole Miss, I think is huge. Number 9, Harvard-Yale. Just when you think that, you think about rivalry. It's 1-2, 2-1 in the Ivy League, whatever. Number 8, I put the cocktail party, Florida and Georgia. For me, outside looking in on Florida, I thought that was a bigger game to me, even than the FSU or whatever. So at 7, because of probably when I grew up, FSU-Miami was the biggest game on the schedule every year. Yeah. So that was cool. 6, I went with Alabama-Tennessee. I hate Tennessee way worse than I do Auburn. For me, it's the biggest, but in historical significance and all that, I had them at 6. Number 5, Notre Dame-USC. That's a huge rivalry. Number 4, Oklahoma-Texas. At number 3, I had Michigan-Ohio State. Number 2, I put the Iron Bowl. Mm-hmm. And at number 1, just pure on rivalry, not so much hatred, but it's the game I watch regardless of if the teams are ever any good, and it has its own weekend. Army-Navy's the biggest one to me. And I get it's not the best game, but that's the biggest rivalry to me.
I left out Texas and Texas A&M, and it was kind of hard to do that, but I did. I almost had it in there at number 10, but I took it out and put Georgia. Auburn.
There's so many good ones. I mean, Oregon State's a huge game.
Yeah.
Clemson, South Carolina is a huge game.
Here, listen to this one. The athletic. Doc, here's the athletics top 10. Their little scripture thing. At number 10, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Number 9, Florida State. Number 8, Ohio State, Penn State. Number 7, Miami, FSU. Number 6, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Number 5, USC, Notre Dame. That's a pretty big one. Number 4, Army, Navy. Number 3, Oklahoma, Texas. Number 2, the Iron Bowl. And number 1, Ohio State and Michigan. So they hit across the country, kind of like you did, Brian. You hit all across the country. All right, Doc, I think that's pretty good. I think we did well. I thought we did a pretty good job there.
Coach, I wanted to tell you why I left Texas A&M off my list.
Okay.
I was shocked looking historically.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't played 100 games, and Texas owns Texas A&M. Yep. I think the spread on that is like 50. Like Texas has won like 50 more games than A&M, and I was actually shocked to learn that.
Well,
Georgia Tech is closer in wins and losses than Texas A&M.
Yeah. I like watching that game too. And you look at Alabama LSU. Look at the series there. Alabama had dominated LSU. I mean,
I always considered that not so much a great rivalry. It's a great game.
Yeah. Because to Alabama, it's Tennessee, Auburn.
Yeah.
To LSU, you talk to LSU people, LSU, Jeff, will tell you that it's Alabama. Their biggest game's Alabama, especially when Saban betrayed them, as they'll tell you.
The funny thing, I mean, in rivalry sense, but they never play, Alabama Notre Dame's huge. Yeah. Because they used to constantly argue. Alabama fans always hated because they could throw 12 national championships at everything, except Notre Dame would go, yeah, us too. That's why we hated them.
And we never could beat them.
Even Catholics in the state of Alabama hated Notre Dame.
You're right about Notre Dame.
But they never play.
Dang, Doc, there was something else I was going to ask you, and it just went right out of my head. Oh, I know what it was. Did you hear about Coach O at LSU? Did you hear what happened?
I don't think so. What happened?
All right, well, you know Cam Newton was at Pier Park this past, I think 2 days ago. He was out, maybe it was yesterday, he's out at Pier Park. They had a picture of him at Pier Park. I thought it was kind of cool. I think Cam Newton's an unbelievable player. Coach O, you can spot him over in Destin all the time. Well, he got some bad news. He got divorced from his beautiful wife. It was I think it was right after they won the national championship. They beat Alabama. I saw her hugging him on the field after the Alabama game. They beat him up there, beat Alabama's, and President Trump was at that game. She just got rewarded $8 million, and the reason being, he signed some paperwork, his buyout, too soon. If he'd have waited before he signed something else with his wife's divorce, she wouldn't have got the money. They took it to court. His lawyers fought it. She won. She's getting $8 million of his buyout. Wow. I'd hate to lose $8 million.
I hate to lose $8 million.
I guess Coach O needs a job again.
I don't know. He might be.
He's going to be Arnold's defensive coordinator next year.
All right, Doc, we got to go. We got a break coming up. I tell you, man, again, I can't say enough good things about you. You do incredible work. Again, what's the best way to get up with you? I think that's the best way to do it. Some people here in town, you got an office on the beach, you got an office on the town, but if they want to see your beautiful face, which one should they go to, or do you do both? Do you show up at both locations?
Well, Coach, I've been doing this for about 20 years, and I'm just doing the cancer surgery now. So I'm actually not taking new patients.
Okay.
But if we got Dr. Lewis, she's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Went to Mosley High, went to UF. She's a fantastic dermatologist. Dr. Lewis is taking new patients. You get in, you'll get checked by the best people. And then when you need your cancer cut out, you see me. double board certified dermatologist, Mohs surgeon, and nobody's better at taking out your skin cancer and making you look good afterwards than me. So
no doubt about that. I like her. When I take my shirt off and they check me out, she's impressed. So I do like her.
Well, after she's done laughing.
No. She didn't eat lunch before you.
She threw up. All right, Doc. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, okay?
All right, y'all have a great one.
Thank you, buddy.
Right,
Appreciate you, man. You know what? We always talk about locals. Steve's been coaching forever at Mosley. This bike shop, they've been in business since 1979. That's incredible, man. And these electrical bikes, I tell you all the time, they're taking over the world. They're all throughout Bay Point. People run you over in those things. Please wear a helmet. Any type of bike you're on, wear a helmet. But the electrical bikes, they go up to about 30 miles an hour. If you're looking for one, go to Steve's Bike Shop right across the street from Sam's. They got large selections. You want to get a used one, you can also do that. You need a bike worked on, go to Steve's Bike Shop right across the street from Sam Street. I tell you what, they do great work. And my beautiful Leighton Bell wants a 10-speed for her birthday, and guess what? Guess where I'm going? I'm going there to get one. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Tonight, we're staying up past our bedtimes. It's exciting interleague play with the Atlanta Braves and the Athletics. Coverage coming up from West Sacramento at the Sutter Health Park at 7:50. First pitch, 9:05. On your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 88. Partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms and a high of 86. The same at 86 Friday, and we'll have a variety of mostly sunshine and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Before I get into
no better radio than you reading.
Yeah, but I want to talk about something before we get into Alabama update and Stevenson air conditioning. I didn't mention Kyle Vandegrift. We were talking about him off there. What a wonderful man. He does a great job. If you're looking for roofing, or heck, if you're looking to build anything, I'm talking anything. They design it, they build it, commercial, residential. But if you're looking for a roof, it's Vandy Roofing. TK Vandy Roofing, Kyle Vandegrift, that family's been involved in Bay County. His mom and dad, what an impact they've had on people's life over 30-something, longer than 30-something years. I think he coached over there 35 years, something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
And Judy ran for superintendent, should have won. She's incredible. But Kyle does a great job. Everything that man touches, it turns to gold. Very successful. You're looking for a roof, it's Vandy Roofing. And Patrick, listen to Patrick every Monday right here, 8:30 on ESPN Northwest Florida. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want your yard to look beautiful, he can make it happen. You got insects getting in the house, he can make those go away. And he's got a fundraiser going on with Mosley Cheerleaders. They're going to be giving away 2 tank of gas and 2 tickets to the Alabama FSU game. August 30th, 2:30, ABC, Alabama at FSU. And we'll tell you more about that when we get him in here on Monday.
Yeah, I was going to say, that Josh, who was down in Edgewater, Orlando, took a job in Marietta, Georgia.
After winning the top athletic director in Orange County, 23 high schools.
One of the reasons he went was about like a $30,000 pay. 35. So,
well, next time Josh's in town, he's getting lunch.
That's right.
And Georgia does it right. They use that lottery money the right way.
They do.
All right. Stevenson Air Conditioning. I can't say enough good things about Jason. He graduated from Mosley High School. He starts a family business. It's expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. You see that truck everywhere because you want to be satisfied. Customer, he does the best job than anybody I know. I could have been ripped off big time. I said, I don't care what it costs. I want the biggest unit you can put in here. I said, Coach, I can do that, but you don't need to. It's your square footage. He went over all these different things I had no idea about. We got a unit from him, the best thing we've ever done. They do a great job. If your house is not getting cooled off, your power bill's going to the roof, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out, and you'll be glad you went with them. I'm telling you, they're number one. They never lose. All right, head coaches, SEC head coaches. Now, not what they did last year, not what they did the year before, but what have they done their entire career versus top 25 competition? Who's number one?
Nick
Who's
Saban.
last? Well, Nick's not coaching anymore, so he's not on the list.
You'll find a way.
Here we go. Who's the head football coach at Mississippi State? Levy?
Yes.
Okay. Coming at last place, Mississippi State.
You got set up for that shot.
Mississippi State head football
I didn't
coach,
see that coming.
Levy. He's got a perfect record of 0%.
Hey, you're going to do something, do it right.
He's 0-6 versus top 25 competition. Coming in at number 15th in the SEC versus top 25 competition as a head football coach, Coach Lee, which I think has done a really good job at Vandy. He really has. Had a really good year last year. Mm-hmm. He's won 11.7% of his games versus top 25. His record is 2-15 versus top 25. This will not keep your job at the Florida Gators. Billy Napier's all-time record versus top 25. 15 wins, 18 losses, 21.7. At number 13, he is on the warm seat. I will say it right now, he's on the hot seat, and I think you agree with me. Recruited the first 2 years, been outstanding. Right now, he's anywhere ranked from 72 to 80-something in recruiting. People are not happy. Hugh Freeze versus top 25. I did not know this.
Yeah, but he's got his golf game down to 3 handicap.
His golf game is going great. Thank you, Lane Kiffin. Versus top 25, 10 wins, 32 losses.
Wow.
10 wins, 32 losses. 23.8%. Coach Sam Pittman at Arkansas, 7-22. 7-22. Kentucky, Stoops. The seat is getting warmer on him.
All right.
His top 25 competition career, this is career. I think he's only been a head coach at Kentucky. 14 wins, 31 losses. Here are your top 10 in the SEC. Lane Kiffin is at number 10 with the Ole Miss Rebels. Remember, he was at Tennessee. He was at USC. So he was also down at Florida Atlantic. So it's kind of misleading because he's done a great job at Ole Miss. But his career versus top 25 competition, 11 wins, 24 losses. Shane Beamer at South Carolina. Overall record versus top 25, 7 wins, 15 losses, 31.8%. Texas A&M, Elko, did a great job at Duke. His record versus top 25, 3 wins, 6 losses, 33.3%. Missouri's Drinkowitz, if I said that right. Missouri, he's been head coach at Missouri. I think I forgot the other job he was at.
Appalachian State.
Yeah, that's right. 7 wins, 14 losses. Records count. Schedules count. Oklahoma, he's only won 4 games. He's lost 7, 36.3. Texas, they're 20. That's Stark. Remember, Stark was head coach at USC. Washington.
Yeah.
So he's played more of them, but he's won 21. He's won 21 games versus top 25, but he's lost 33, which gives him 38% winning percentage. Brian Kelly, it's been knocked down since he's been at LSU. His competition versus top 25, not very good. 35 wins, 37 losses. He coached at Notre Dame, he coached at LSU. That's 48.6%. Here are your top 3 best coaches in the SEC as far as top 25 competition. Tennessee Heupel, 12 wins, 12 losses versus top 25, 500. Kirby Smart, Georgia, is at number 2, 37 wins, 15 losses, 72.7% versus top 25. That's outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
That's outstanding. And I couldn't believe this. DeBoer at Alabama, of course, he did a pretty good job at Oregon. I mean, not Oregon, Washington. He's won 15 times against top 25 opponents. He's only lost 3. And I think all 3 of them was when he was at Alabama. 83.3% winning percentage versus top 25. That's really good. And you're going that some of these records don't sound very good. You got to remember, when you play a team that's just as good as you are, is ranked about where you're at, you're going to be about 500.
Right.
I can go back and look at Coach Bryant. His bowl record wasn't that great. The only guy I know that was kind of different was Bobby Bowden. Yeah. His record in bowl, he did pretty dang good now. Do you think anybody else did really outstanding against the competition? Saban, Bowden. Joe Paterno's record wasn't that. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great.
But that, they were for a long time. They were independent, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Pat Dye said that. He said, "Look, when you go to a bowl game and you got number 1 versus 2, and you got 5 versus 6. When you're about the same, it comes down to mistakes. That's where you find out how great coach really is. He said, when you line up and you play and you got a lot better players than the guy you're playing, you should win those games.
Right.
What are you going to do when the competition is great? And he says, you can be a great coach. This is what Coach Dye, you can be a great coach, but one play here, one play there, and you're going to lose that ball game because they're just as talented as you are.
Right.
And so it's not beating yourself. So anyway, Nick Saban, Bear Bryant, DeBoer now, he's right up there with these guys. 83.3, the number 1 guy in the SEC versus top 25 competitions. Good job, Coach. Basketball, they came out with a way too early USA Today preseason rankings. Coach Oaks did a good job at Alabama. He's done an outstanding job at Alabama. We don't want to lose him. He is a great basketball coach, in my opinion. Preseason poll, they've got Alabama ranked number 8 in the nation. Good job. And they've lost some great players off that team last year. And they had a really good team last year. So I love that. We're not only great in football, over the years, now we're becoming really a great school across the board in all sports. We got to get the baseball team up there.
Alabama plays Florida State in October at Birmingham, the Birmingham Coliseum.
Wow. I might have to go up there and watch that one. Jamie will be covering that game. All right, that's been your Alabama update. That's been brought to you by Steverson Air Conditioning. I can't say enough good things about Jason. I love that man. Wonderful people, family owned. They do incredible work. Most honest guy I know. If you have a problem, go to Steverson. This is the greatest commercial you'll ever hear. We're at J. Michael's restaurant. I'm walking out. A guy's walking in. He says, Coach, I didn't know who he was. I said, yeah. He goes, I listened to your show. I just want to tell you something. I had bought an air conditioning system from a guy, he named it. I'm not going to mention the company. It's a big company. He said, I called him. The thing was not working. I called him. It was going to take them 4 or 5 days to get out there. I said, I called Stevenson Air Conditioning because I heard on your show. He said, they came out. He said, I thought it was going to be a big sun. He said, it was nothing. They fixed it that day. He says, I'm telling you what, I'll always go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. So should you. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1. Whew.
That was the Acme Air Conditioning Company.
Okay. Glenn, I'll tell you what, you've bought a lot of stuff from David Adams.
I do. That's
Russ
correct.
and Amber done great jobs for you.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Santamont, Michigan Eddie, a lot of people bought from them. They design it. Didn't you have something especially made for your wife, or did you just go to get something?
No, I had it made. I had an idea, and I kind of drew it up.
Were you happy?
I was. Yeah, I really was, and it.
It's just in my mind, I'm thinking if he didn't, he's going to have to now.
That's right. No, but it was great. She loved it, so it was a surprise altogether. So.
If you want to design, if you want something they already got there, you're going to be glad you went down there. It's in Lynn Haven. They do a great. I love Russ and Amber. They do a great job. Get down to David Haslam. Don't waste your money somewhere else. They are number one. Not even close, man. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy Base. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. We'll be right back. We're going to open up with Auburn. We're going to close with FSU. At 8:30, we got the great Mark McLeod. We'll be right back. ESPN Northwest.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
Jaden Daniels, if he does get into the top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League, and I get that that's a big if. The guy that we're worried about being pushed out or being replaced ain't Jalen Hurts. It's Joe Burrow. You judge greatness in this league by a few different things. Championship rings, all pros, and MVPs. Joe Burrow ain't got none of that.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 88. Partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms and a high of 86. The same at 86 Friday, and we'll have a variety of mostly sunshine and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay-down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna, all you Auburn Tigers out there in radio land. Hey, we appreciate you listening today. We really do.
Hey, you ever notice when he says War Eagle, it's the same thing like Roll Tide? You ever notice
Sir,
that?
baby. Grew up in that great state. Loved both those schools. Got a split family. Thanksgiving would be interesting right before the game. You had half the table pulling for Auburn. Dad would say, shut up. He gets sick of it. When he would say, shut up, we all shut up. He didn't have to tell us twice. He's scared. I was scared of that man. Anyway, appreciate you listening today. You want to give us a call, 215-6290. Glenn, Bruce Pearl has done an unbelievable job at Auburn.
He has.
He truly has.
Yep.
He has built that into a powerhouse. They built it, and they came. The arena is incredible. And I want to brag on Andy Burcham.
Mm-hmm.
He just got the radio announcer. I don't know what Randy, what's the terminology? The broadcaster of the year for college
athletics.
Yeah, athletics. He won that.
He's a man.
Yeah, he won it.
He stepped in there at a really uncomfortable time for Auburn athletics.
Yep.
And has just shined.
Took the kids
Oh yeah.
What a great
Rod
man.
Bramlett's kid. Yeah.
Great man. He just won this national award. God bless him. He deserves it. But he gets to cover, Auburn football, baseball, and basketball. Not many people do that. But I want to talk. I know we got to get FSU in today because we got Mark McLeod at 8:30. But I do want to talk about the basketball program. I was disappointed, and I don't agree with this. USA Today only had Auburn preseason poll at number 25. I think Auburn's going to be right there in the top 10 next year in basketball. The guy's incredible, recruits very well, and he produces players. They play hard for him. It's hard to win. It's hard to beat Auburn at Auburn. When Florida beat them last year at Auburn, I thought, man, watch out. That's when it got my attention about Auburn. I mean, that Florida could be really something special, and they win the national championship. But you're happy with old Bruce Pearl, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But are you happy with, honestly, just tell me what you think. Hugh Freeze, all the talk about the golf game, the recruiting, this is a must-win year for him. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to put all this to rest. But are you disappointed in him?
I'm not totally disappointed in him. Here's the thing. When you're not winning, then you're under a microscope no matter what you do. So he's in a no-win situation. So the only thing that's going to make it better is if he wins.
Got to win.
Yep. And so, and then you get, what happens at Auburn is you have the old money and the new money. So the Yellowwood people, if they don't like somebody, they work on it instead of both of them working together. So it's really, it's a nice place to coach, but it's also tough to coach there. So
you got to win, baby.
Yep.
You got to win.
Yep.
All right, I want to say this. If you're an Auburn fan, I don't care if you're an Auburn fan or not. You want a great meal today, and here in Lynn Haven, you get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Furno, the city commissioner over there, does an incredible job, but he owns Beef O'Brady's. The way he trains up the employees, they treat you like family. You walk in, it's like they know your name. They always have a smile on their face. They never have a bad day. Get out to Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven, 10 wings inside for $9.99. Glenn, if you want great entertainment, head on down to Miss Newby's. Newby's 2 on the Curve. Go watch all sporting events. The Mothership. You want the best entertainment in that Southeast, you're going to get it. You know why? Because Miss Charlotte's going to get it for you. She does a great job. Get out to Newby's, tell them Coach sent you. Glenn, what do you have for us today on the FSU Florida State Seminoles?
Well, it seems to be recruiting season, but I'm going to start real quick with the men's and women's tennis team. They have 11 players earned all academic honors, and they were on the academic team. So there were 5 women and 6 men for the tennis team. So congratulations to them. And in the month of June, FSU picked up 15 commits for 2026. That makes them have 21 commits overall. And of those 15, they're all 15, they call them blue chips. So congratulations to what's going on. We're going to have some people there this weekend, and they're going to do whatever they need to do. They got them there right there in the cusp of whatever they're going to do. So hopefully we'll see that. This is kind of start out with me. This guy, he's a 4-star offensive tackle for 2026. His name's Wilson Zera. And he is actually from Germany, and he made the decision, or is going to make the decision either this weekend or next weekend on whether he wants to go to Alabama, Auburn, or FSU.
What are you hearing? Which way is he leaning?
Well, I think here's the thing. He has ties with Malzahn because he recruited Zaira's brother to Auburn, and so the family knows him and everything. So, and then also he has a relationship with talking with Coach Hand and also with Coach Norville. So, we're thinking it's like 75% towards FSU. So hopefully
that'd be a big pickup.
He's 6'6", 280 pounds. He's from Rayburn Gap, Nakuchi, Georgia. So hopefully he didn't have to spell it a lot, but anyway. Also, now another target is a edge rusher who can be the jack linebacker, Kettrell Webb. His decision will come either this weekend or next weekend. He has several offers, but he's leaning towards FSU, Indiana, or Purdue. He is 6'3", 235 pounds. He is from Collins Hill, Georgia, this is the first time I've seen this listed. The Indiana FSU and Purdue, they all have him equal NIL deals. So all three schools, so they're probably slick on that. So don't have to worry about that. And then we had a guy that committed. Not committed to jail, but committed to 2026 class. He is a 4-star defensive lineman. His name's Ernest Rankins. He picked FSU over Ohio State, Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia. He is 6'5". 275 pounds. He's from Ellenwood, Georgia. He's ranked as number 5 defensive lineman in the 2026 class. So those are the ones that are going on there. With the little cannon fodder on Castellanos when he made the little statement, they showed some highlight films of him against several people, and one of the reasons he didn't start after he got injured when he came back is the new coach Bryant. He didn't like a running quarterback. He likes to have them in a lot of play action pass stuff, but he doesn't like a guy that takes off. And one of the things that helped FSU when we had Jordan Travis and he was so mobile that he covered all the mistakes of the line, and so it didn't look as bad. But the next year, when Ukulele couldn't run, so that's trust. But this guy can run. They got a backup guy named Kenny Sperry who is from Texas. They are really high on him, so because he can do both, he can do all that. So and they got a.
Which one's bigger?
I think Castellanos is bigger. And he's just a little bit taller, but the other guy's very athletic and hits all the throws, reads the defense well, but he's a great runner. So, he came high school in Texas. And so, but anyway, that's going on right there. Castellanos is bless his heart, the former quarterbacks from Alabama are saying he hasn't faced anything like Alabama yet. So I'm like,
who said that?
What's the guy's name? I don't even know. McCarron said that.
Oh, AJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that you said Karen, because that's about right.
AJ said, I was about to say, Alabama players better not be saying anything.
No.
That's the Florida State players talk.
But give them something to think about. But anyway, he said, what gets me is here's the guy that managed the football game. When he was Alabama, but he's the guy he was saying, you better be able to do what he says he can do or he's in for a long night. Well, I mean, anybody could have said that. You and I could have said that, but I don't know. It's just, I wish it hadn't opened.
Well, I wouldn't have said it because they're going to play at 2:30.
I know, but I know it. So, but anyway, it may be a little warmer down there in Tally than it is in Alabama.
It's pretty hot everywhere.
Yep, and their bench is going to be facing the sun.
Who, Alabama's?
Yeah.
That's real nice. That's sweet.
Well, it's always been that way. The only time it's good is when it's freezing.
What do you think? Nobody knows what this team's going to be like. I think it might surprise us. I think Gus Malzahn's a heck of a coach. He really is. He's kind of quirky sometimes, but hey, you can't argue with his success. And we all keep focusing on the offense, but we haven't been really talking much about FSU's defense.
They keep getting their what I'm saying, replenishing their defensive line. They're doing that, and they're trying to make sure the linebackers are really set in the secondary. So the one thing is they got to have that one dominant linebacker. That I guess he has to be right in the middle, but the defensive linemen, they're really proud of those. Got 2 or 3 of those guys coming back, so hopefully the defense will be good. I'm not sure. They wouldn't be playing, but the kicking game to me is going to be, you had 2 solid players, so it's going to be tough to replace those guys. That's hidden yardage that people never see. So anyway, I think they're going to pair between 9 or 10 games myself.
I hope you're right. I do think they're going to be pretty good. They can't be like it was last year. I
think they got people that had a lot more experience out of the portal, and also the kind of like the culture that they had.
The character of the team's a lot better. Right. Hell, it couldn't be any worse. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Thank you, Glenn. The FSU update's been brought to you by Newbies. Get out Newbies, you have a great time. I tell you, the mothership, you got to get down there. But Newbies Field and the Curve, go watch all sporting events. We appreciate you doing that. Tell them Coach sent you. If you get injured in any way, go see the legend. I can't believe this. This will be his 26th year. What a great man. 26 years, giving up free time to take care of Bay County athletes. You don't have to be a great athlete to see Chad Mitchell. Call, make an appointment. He'll take care of the guys. Unbelievable. One of the first guys trained robotic surgery. Unbelievable. The legendary Chad Mitchell. Listen to him Monday mornings right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve's Bike Shop right there on 23rd Street since 1979. You're looking for a bike, go see Steve. The guy's unbelievable. Does a great job coaching. I think you and him, did you and him coach together, Brian?
Yeah. Yeah, I brought him on board with the team, and he was with us almost all the time. Well, actually, the whole time I was head coach, I think so.
You want that yard to look beautiful? Call Patrick. He'll do a great job for you. Turf Pro Pest Control, #1. You got bugs getting in the house, call Patrick. They'll go away. The guy's unbelievable. Listen to him Mondays at 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And Kyle Vandegrift, love you, brother. Vandy Roofing. You want a new roof? It's Kyle Vandy Roofing. TK Vandy Roofing. We'll be right back. 104.3, the great Mark McLeod. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
First of all, this thing with the court and college sports is getting uglier and uglier by the day. What's your solution to this stuff, Coach?
Well, my solution really doesn't matter because these folks seem like they know what they're doing, don't they?
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red boils, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorrento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Gators. I tell you what, before we bring on the legendary Mark McLeod, I want to say something. I did something for Richard Sanders, and I'm going to have it for him tomorrow. So, Richard, you better be. I know he listens every day, but it's about his Georgia Tech. He loves Georgia Tech.
He does love Georgia Tech.
Well, tell us what's going on. What has he brought into the town this week?
Well, it's not just him. I mean, Chris and
Chris
that
does a
whole
great
crew
job
over there do this, but we have, and this is oddly specific, 198 girls fast pitch teams. Come on, guys, let's go for 200. But 198 girls fast pitch teams playing both Publix and Frank Brown Park this week. That started on Monday. That is the USFA World Series 1.
And all of our sponsors listening right now, all these people that own restaurants, that's not 198 players. That's teams.
Oh, my God.
And
families.
Families.
Yes.
That knocks out of the ballpark.
That's a lot.
They come down here, they go to restaurants, they spend money, they're great people. That's like Jay Michaels. We see so many baseball players, softball players down there. People that play sports, everybody plays sports. They come down here, they listen to ESPN, they want to hear what's going on in the sports world. And that's why you need to advertise right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You get to listen to great people that know what they're doing.
And
the one and only, the Mark McLeods of the world, and there's no one like Mark. Mark, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, doing well, guys. Good to be on with you.
I saw your name on some publication. I looked. I know that guy. I know that guy.
Police beat, wasn't it?
That was no. It was pretty good. He had
Do
all
not
this
accept
thing,
checks from this man.
media days for every conference he had out there, and I copied it, and I'll go over it with you later. But Mark, I do want to talk to you about something. I want your input on this. SEC media days are getting ready to happen. I talked to my daughter and talked to Jeff Spiegel and these people that work throughout the great state of Alabama and even Tennessee, all around. There are a lot of unhappy people right now that usually cover the SEC media. It's not in Hoover this year. It's in Atlanta, and everything's extremely expensive. If you wouldn't mind, what have you heard? What do you know about this? There's people not happy.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention names, but I will tell you there are 2 metropolitan cities with big stations that have gone for years. I'm talking stations that send anywhere from 3 to 6 guys to cover. They're not going. I know of another big station in a town outside of Florida. They're not sending their people either. They usually send 2 to 3. Yeah, there are a lot of people who aren't going to make it, and really, I mean, when you look at it, it's not cheap. I mean, you're at the Omni, you're talking about valet parking of $60 a day. Mm-hmm. Well, you get stations and you get television, radio, whatever it may be, print media that send 2 and 3 people, and they're trying to cover different things. They'll bring different vehicles. Some of these people coming from different areas. I mean, that gets to be expensive. I talked to one station owner 2 years ago at Media Days, 2 years ago, and we sat around and had a long discussion. He's owner of a station, very prominent. I'm not going to mention his name because people would know it right away, but he told me, he said, Mark, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Yeah, there you go, Randy. He said, this is ridiculous, Mark. He goes, they're pricing themselves out. He goes, it's great to cater to the ESPNs, the CBSs, those guys. He goes, but the local radio stations are what made the Southeastern Conference what it is. He goes, because all those people that listen to those stations, that's your fan base. Those are the people you're reaching out to, and those are the people that buy the tickets. Those are the people that support the programs, and nobody wants to turn on ESPN and hear 4 minutes of your team and then 4 minutes of another team, and then 4 minutes of them talking about each other, whatever it may be.
By the way, Mark, we were denied. We applied for media credentials for it and were denied, which was shocking. Yeah, absolutely. I'll forward you the email.
Wow. Well, okay. We should have talked. I could have helped you.
Okay, good. I'll reach out.
Yeah, do you think the SEC commissioner is going to hear this noise and maybe try to correct some of this? I loved it in Hoover. I mean, they treated people well. Everybody I talked to liked going to Hoover. It's not that expensive. It's such a big deal there in that city. Atlanta's a big city, and like you're talking about, just to pay to park and $65, the hotel rooms there are crazy. And they have it where in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's right next door.
And I heard it wasn't that great the first time y'all did it there. Everybody's kind of on top of each other.
No, the first time they did it was not in the Hall of Fame. It was in the Omni.
Okay.
It was a big boardroom in the Omni, and the tables were lined up together, and then they were spaced about 10 feet apart.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
If you're going by the row, so people could get down the row. It was ridiculous. I mean, you could hear the guy next to you. You could hear the guy in front of you. It was really, really bad. Even I even had a coach come through and said, man, I don't know how you... And he sat down with me and did an interview. He said, I don't even know how you guys can hear one another. And I said, we can't. This is really not a good setup whatsoever. This is not the wind tree. This is a really bad deal. Well, they the last time we went to Atlanta, they put us in the College Football Hall of Fame, which spaced us all the way down the hallways there, and that was a really good situation all the way around.
I'll be honest, I think I know what they did. They're worried about all the crime and the shootings in Birmingham, so they figure we're going to go to a safe place like downtown Atlanta.
Yeah. But, it's rough, guys. I mean, the paying for the parking, they've upped the tables now. at Radio Row. Now they're $750 a table, which is ridiculous. You know, they're pricing themselves out of the game. And, when you go to the Winfrey in Hoover, you don't pay for parking. There's no pay for parking. When we went to Nashville, it was cheaper. You could get around Nashville and navigate that area a little bit better. But, downtown Atlanta, there's restaurants you can walk to and what have you. But I like when we went to media days last time, I found a parking garage 5 blocks away that charged me $20-something a day. And I said, I don't need my car. I'm going to be here at the hotel or the College Football Hall of Fame the whole time. What do I need it for? So I just went down there and did that.
Mark, I don't know. What did you hear about when they had it in Dallas? How was that? The prices and how they treated people out there. Did you hear anything about that one?
Dallas was well received. It really was. The only issue with Dallas is flying in.
Yeah,
expensive. Used to be years ago. It used to be kind of cheap to fly into Dallas. It's not cheap anymore. So nothing's cheap anymore. So that was the biggest issue. Is that there were people who couldn't send as many people. You also had one guy that I covered for his station. They called me up. The owner there called me up and asked me if I could help them because one of their guys couldn't make. They wanted him to drive. They wanted him to drive from Alabama to Dallas, and he said, no, I can't because of the equipment, all the equipment he had to haul, and then one other person, and they said, no, we're just not going to do it. So they didn't do it. So they called me and asked me if I would work it for them. I said, sure, be glad to. And we agreed on a price, and we worked it. But some of the other issues with Dallas, there were no issues really. Parking, was I think it was cheaper than it was in Humvee, to be honest with you. But I think overall for Dallas, it was much better situation because of where it was, and then they did so much for us there, which was fantastic.
I wanted to ask you, over the years, have you noticed, is it getting tougher on the head coaches when you guys, with SEC Media Days, or is it gotten easier? The questions been softer, or do they still get after them? Like in the old days, they'd ask, there were some tough questions asked. And the reason I bring that up, Hugh Freeze is taking a lot of heat on social media right now about his golf game. Lane Kiffin had that tweet out there, whatever you call it. What do you think, in your opinion, is it tougher on the coaches nowadays, or was it easier on these guys?
I think it's probably about the same, maybe a little easier, and I'll tell you why. Before, it's interesting, before you fly out there or drive out there, wherever you're going to go, the SID from certain team that you cover may send you out a email and say, look, coach is blah, blah, blah. He's not going to touch on this subject.
Yeah. And
you get stuff like that. I've talked to guys, they said, yeah, we've gotten those emails. So I think they try to head it off at the pass. It doesn't always work because the challenge is, and then that's why I say it's about the same, Coach. The challenge is you go to a large room, which is the media room. That's print writers predominantly. Then you go to the TV room, which is all loads of TV cameras and people with microphones asking questions. Then you go to the radio room, which is specified for people that do radio. It's usually a smaller room. And then between those three rooms, somebody's going to ask that question that you didn't want asked.
Yeah. Now, what do you, next year, going forward, where do you think it's going to be? Where is it going to be? They already announced where it's going to be next year?
I don't think they did. I think Atlanta or Nashville. I think one of those two. I think they really like the hotel, and the entire situation in Nashville was really good, except for the construction downtown was right by the event, which was terrible. But outside of that should be done by now. And outside of that, there was really no issue. Even with that, we were able to go out the back door and go the back way. But I think Atlanta, again, the Winfrey needs a makeover, a major makeover, and I don't know that anyone's willing to put up the money to do that.
Have they ever had it in Orlando?
No.
Okay.
No, they haven't. They've never had it in Florida, period.
Wow. Okay.
The closest thing to Florida they had was when they started SEC Media Days in the early 80s, late 70s. They started what they called the SEC Skywriters Tour, and they put them all the reporters on a plane and flew them from city to city. You sat down for a couple hours, interviewed coaches, players, got back on the plane, and you were gone to the next city.
Wow. All right, let me ask you this. What's your opinion? I think he's pretty good. Phil Seal, He came out, he released his preseason top 10, well, his poll and everything, and he's given a lot of praise for Florida. Florida Gators ranked 10th in his preseason poll. I think he's pretty good. I mean, do you have an opinion on him one way or the other? I think he's pretty good.
I think, I've had Phil on the show many, many times. He's a fabulous guy. He's getting a little older now. He's needing some help, I think. But I think Phil overall has done a fabulous job. He really has, and I think now he's still doing a pretty doggone good job.
Well, what do you think? Is he right about the Florida Gators where would you have Florida ranked preseason? Where would you have them?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't even thought about it. In terms of the national poll, I haven't even thought. I'm thinking purely in terms of the SEC. And in the SEC, I would have Florida 5th, optimistically 4th in the SEC. I really think that if they can stay healthy, Napier has put together a team with the Lagniappe quarterback that a good offensive line, maybe the best offensive line in the conference. I mean, that's hard to say.
Hey, Mark.
Hard to say, guys, in Gainesville, but we'll see.
Mark, let me stop you right there. We got to take a break because that was my next question. In the SEC, help us what you think, because you're going to vote on this. You guys vote every time, and when y'all leave there, they release it what the media believes is going to happen coming up year. So we get back. I want you to give us a little breakdown of that, what you're thinking throughout the SEC, not just Florida, but the whole league. We're talking to Mark McLeod every Wednesday, 8:30 right here on ESPN is the Mark McLeod. Does an incredible job. Also, don't forget Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. And don't forget today and today only. If you're on Panama City Beach, J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, but today only, the world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. If you're over in Lynn Haven, Pat Perno, City Commissioner, Beef O'Brady's, their special day only on Wednesday, 10 wings and sign for $9.99. Go check out both these places. Have a great time. We'll be right back. Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
LeBron's staying, but they want to be in the sweepstakes for Giannis. That's what struck me here is, hey, Milwaukee has traded a big man to Los Angeles before, and it worked out really well for the Lakers. Can they get Giannis? Would they be involved in that picture when you clear LeBron's salary off the books?
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 88. Partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms and a high of 86. The same at 86 Friday, and we'll have a variety of mostly sunshine and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
We don't know what his problem is. But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back live, 104.3 ESPN Northwest, our J. Michael Studios with the great Mark McLeod. Mark will be in Atlanta next week. I don't know if we'll get him on next week or not. I know he's going to be busy. We're going. You think we got a shot at you next Wednesday? Or are you going to be tied up?
No, I mean, Alabama's first on Wednesday, just like they were last year. So,
Yeah.
I think the last 2 years they've been first on Wednesday. You guys, remember, it's been tough to get on with you guys during SEC meetings.
Yeah. Jamie, tell Jamie I said hi. I'm going to tell her to look you up. She's going to be over there. And they had the same thing you're talking about. They were kind of shocked they got, but that's the biggest station in Alabama. It's ABC. They cover SEC. There's, you know how big it is in the state of Alabama. But even they were like, man, this is crazy. I forgot how they're going to do it. I think they got to get 2 rooms one night. The next night they're getting 1. She's only going to go over there for 2 nights, I think, to help save them money. And then the next 2 nights they only need 1 room because they're going to pile a bunch of guys up in 1 room instead of, I think they'll put 4 people in 1 room instead of 1 in a room. But that's affected a lot of people.
Look, there's an SEC city newspaper in that city, the newspaper in that city, that for probably, I'll say 5 years now, has sent one of their guys on his own dime.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. I know the guy. And I said, you got to be. He goes, no. He goes, oh, they'll cover me on the back end on some food and stuff like that. But no, they're not helping me with hotel. They're not helping me with travel. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I can tell you some war stories. When I went up to Hoover to cover SEC baseball, it's amazing what has come out of my pocket. I'll tell you about that later. I don't want to say it in front of anybody else.
Wait, you horning in on everybody else? You getting all the free ice cream and everything? Yeah, let's hear about that bill you paid.
Anyway, food's outstanding out there, Bob. All right, let's get back. What do you think, man? Really, give us your Florida. Where do you think they're going to fit in the SEC this year? The toughest. I think if they win 9 games, they should be in a playoff with that schedule they play. Of course, it's going to be who they lose to and when, how bad. But talk about Florida. What do you think this football team is going to be like?
Yeah, I think 5. I think 5, maybe 4 if they have a really good year. He's got the pieces that he wanted of the puzzle. They're together. I mean, you go back and you read, what was it, Athlon Sports Magazine? The thing that made me laugh, and look, I love Stevens' work, but he made a comment about the cornerback play at Florida is the biggest concern. Quarterback play. Quarterback play.
Wow.
What are you, cornerback? Defense, yeah. And I said, corner? Are you kidding me? Look at the talent that's there. Look, the biggest issue Florida has is keeping guys healthy at corner. That's the biggest issue they've had, not the guys who are playing the position. So I don't know. I think he's got it right where he wants it, which is, again, we've really struggled talking about Florida over the past several years. 2019 was a great year, but outside of that, it's been a really rough ride for the Gators and the Gator Nation. But I tell you, this year with that offensive line, my biggest issue, and he can say corner all he wants. My biggest issue is I don't know if they have enough depth on the interior defensive line. That's my problem. They're taking Caleb Banks, which is fabulous. Look, this guy now, all these people that watched last year's film, all these NFL people, they're looking, and you have all these mock draft people are talking to these NFL people. They're saying Caleb Banks is a first-round pick. That guy's a mid to late first-round pick right there. That guy's really good, really impressive. Well, they're bringing in the media days, and you've got a couple other guys there who certainly can play. Jamari Lyons is coming back from an injury, didn't even play last year. So you hope that you can get him back because he was highly, highly regarded coming out of high school and played a little bit as a young guy 2 years ago and did some really nice things. So, but I'm not sure they have the depth there. I think they're better at linebacker. I think they're better at safety right now, although some of that, the most elite talent at safety is very young. But, again, for Florida, it's keeping some of those guys healthy. I think Florida, this is the best team Florida's had easily since 2019, and let's go see what they can do with a very difficult schedule.
Well, since we're talking about the ranking of the conference, who would you have ahead of Florida? Who are the top 4?
No doubt Texas and Georgia, in my opinion. I would have Texas, Georgia, 1, 2. I think at 3, Three's difficult. LSU brought so many new faces. Do you go LSU? Do you go Alabama? Look, I think Alabama, if they can stay, they're another team that has issues in terms of depth on the interior defensive line. Mm-hmm. But the offensive line should be better. Not great, but they should be better. The secondary is maybe the best in the country. I think Ryan Grubb as the offensive coordinator with Simpson at quarterback, a guy that's been around a while, I think that's a good match. I really think that's going to be and play very well for Alabama. I think the tight end blocking will be better this year, although they had that stud last year who could block, but outside of him, they had nobody.
Right.
So I think the tight end blocking will be better. Wide receiver play is the starting wide receivers are outstanding, but those guys in the reserves, they're very talented, but we just got to see more of them. But yeah, I think Alabama could very well be number 3. I think it's a toss-up between Alabama, LSU, and I don't know who else to put in there. South Carolina is going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to be 3 or 4. I think they'll be right there behind Florida, but I think Alabama, LSU could be 3.
All right, I wanted to ask you this. We were talking earlier about these rivalries and stuff like this. Florida, the Florida Gators, since I've been watching Florida, I go back when Auburn, Florida was a huge game. But in your opinion, what is the biggest rival games for Florida? The biggest, is it FSU? Is it Georgia? Is it Tennessee? To me, it's either Georgia or FSU. But what's the biggest game on Florida's schedule every year?
Georgia, no doubt. No doubt it's Georgia. Georgia, that program has been so good for so long. And now, they had, that's some issues here and there if you go back 20 years ago. But certainly Mark Richt did a nice job at Georgia. He didn't do an excellent job at Georgia, but he did some really nice things there. And then, of course, Kirby Smart has just taken it to a whole new level. So, yeah, it's without question, it's Georgia. I think number 2 on that list, that's tough. I might go Tennessee. LSU, you got to put LSU in there, too. They've had some awfully interesting games with LSU, between the shoe toss to Hurricaneville twice. It's a nasty rivalry between Florida and LSU. I'd put them up there, and then Florida State, I think, is up there too. Although Florida State's been down over the past 4 or 5 years.
See, I'm kind of like you, but if I went all time, and tell me if I'm crazy or not, I get it. To me, it would be Georgia, FSU, Tennessee, and because I'm old school, I would have Auburn in there, and I guess LSU next. But I get it. Am I crazy thinking that way, or does that sound decent? The top 4 or 5 of them right there.
Yeah. Look, when Bobby was at Florida State, there's no question, and Steve was at Florida State Spurrier. Yeah, Florida State was right there neck and neck, but since Bobby Bowden, Florida State certainly had 2 or 3 really good years. But outside of that, I really think that LSU has really risen up, and I think Tennessee has because it's Tennessee. I think that's just it was an old Eastern Division rivalry. I say old; it wasn't that long ago they were fighting for the East. But anyway, I think Tennessee is up there. Right there with FSU as well.
Real quick, got about a minute. If I could have the power to do it, I would replace LSU. I know it's a big game. I get that. I would put Auburn in there because I'm older. I remember that game. Being from the state of Alabama, that was a huge game. Pat Dye was the coach then. What did you think about the Auburn rivalry? Did you like it, or would you rather keep LSU and keep Auburn off it?
I like it, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but I remember I wrote a column when I was with Gator Country many years ago with the rivalry, Florida-Auburn rivalry, and man, a lot of the fans who are, I'll say 35, 40 and older, they were really unhappy when LSU became the annual opponent on the schedule from the West. They did not like that at all. Yeah. They wanted Auburn because they had developed those friendships. It's a quick trip to Auburn. And it's just a good place to go, and what a great stadium. Not knocking anything in Baton Rouge, that's for sure. But certainly, Auburn is the one that a lot of the older, more seasoned Gators would have rather seen.
Hey, Mark, I appreciate you so much. I know you're busy. What's the best way they can keep up with you here in Bay County?
Hey, at McLeod Live on X. Certainly some stuff with Blitz Sports Radio as we're continuing our look at some of the teams who could compete for an SEC title.
All right, man. We got you in 2 weeks, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
guys.
buddy. Appreciate you, man.
See you.
Glenn, Brian, thank you both so much. Randy, thank you. We're out 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. The Steelers are officially all in. I heard that a lot yesterday because they got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and tight end Jonnu Smith. Well, if they're all in, that's a pair of eights.